told me you and him were friends. Woke up in a burning home. Blame myself, I should have known. This in our place, sealed our fate, buried in the catacombs. Setting fire to the life we made. Such a fucking waste of time. Said you love me till my heart decays. Guess my darling changed her mind. Talks my heart online. Too afraid to find that you changed your mind from sleepless nights. Was I part of your design? Push me till I broke alone. No one heard my heart explode. It's a suicide dive, just knew when you die and question everything you know. Setting fire to the life we made. Such a fucking waste of time. Said you love me till my heart decays. Guess my darling changed her mind. And talks my heart online.
The rolling hills of upstate New York set the stage tonight at Watkins Glen International, a legendary road course, a place where bravery in the braking zones and precision through the S's can make or break a driver's day. Tonight, it's time for 55 laps, or 135 miles, of speed, strategy, and survival. From the drop of the green flag, drivers will charge into turn 1, climb the S's at full throttle, and rocket down the backstretch before diving into one of the most technical sections in racing. One mistake here can end a race in an instant. Every corner matters, every lap counts, and only one driver will conquer tonight's event. Strap in, because the battle at Watkins Glen starts right now. Good evening, racing fans, and welcome to the Green Flag Racing Network. I'm Robert McKay, and I'm bringing all the live coverage here at Watkins Glen International as over 15 drivers set the field tonight. Got about 4 minutes left in practice, the final drivers making their laps now. So we follow along here with the double zero of Pacey Widgeon, who's won his the last 2 races in a row at Talladega and then at the Milwaukee Mile, looking to make it 3 in a row on 3 different tracks. You see here, this is Pacey Widgeon's lap compared to our current pole sitter, the 43 of Mike Houtzer. And Pacey Widgeon tops qualifying with a blistering lap of 1:12.8. Topping Mike Howitzer by over 3/10 of a second. Here's Evan Logue, the 96 Toyota Falcon machine. D heads to turn 1. This is on board the top of Evan Logan, that 96 machine. See him going through that very tricky turn 5. Could have used a little bit more throttle coming out of it. You're able to use that entire left section of the track here on the other side of the rumble strips. Kind of rare in iRacing and on road coursing especially, but kind of an exception that Watkins Glen has. Dives down here through the final couple corners. Coming out of the final corner for the final time, here comes the 96 of Evan Logue. And Evan Logue will find no improvement. Finishes about 6 seconds behind the leader. It's a 1:18.2. Speaking of the pole sitter, let's bring in the 00 of Pacey Widgeon. Pacey Widgeon, it's Robert McKay in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
3/10 over Mike Howitzer, taking pole position. Are you looking to make it 3 in a row here tonight?
Absolutely. That's actually why I showed up. I figured if I'm on a win streak, I might as well keep trying to keep it going. So, yeah, we're just trophy hunting at this point. So,
and trophy hunting indeed. I mean, getting pole by 3/10 over Mike Howitzer. Looks like you're kind of fast everywhere. Do you think you just know the track a little bit better than the regular competitors tonight, or did you find something that kind of gives you the edge?
well, I mean, it's my hometown track, so
That'll look.
I've heard many laps here. But no, I'm not really sure where my speed is here. It's just a consistency over anything. So.
Yeah, exactly, and hopefully that consistency pays off for you tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and now for the moment of truth, let's run through the running grid here, presented to you by M&S Welding and Repair. Pacey Widgeon tops pole with Mike Howitzer starting out there, finishing out that first row. Ben Kennert and Travis Farmer round out your second row. Hayden Williams, Elijah Fisher start P5 and P6. Jeffrey Peppers, Matt Sidars, Cade Steel Cannon, Josh Hotshot Henderson, Chris Lyota, and Evan Logue round out 7th through 12th. Aaron Sand, Jackson Hadaway, Justin Greenlee, Bobby Hadaway, and Joseph Maddox round out the rest of your grid that did not qualify. We cut back here to the live feed, and we're getting ready to roll here at Watkins Glen. Yeah, let's bring in the 43 of Mike Howitzer, who's starting in second there, also on the front row. Hey, Mike, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, boys?
Well, starting there in second, being outbeaten by Pacey Widgeon. How do you feel about the truck tonight?
It's pretty slick out here tonight, so I think managing tires is going to be important. Pacey's really quick. I don't really want to go try to go balls to the walls on lap 1 here. So I'm hoping we can kind of just slip in line and follow Pacey, maybe learn a couple things and take care of the truck. I'd love to win, but honestly, a good point stay would be good. Just to try to stay in front of Hayden there, or kind of gaining on him at the points. So.
Yeah, exactly. Points becoming ever more important as we get closer and closer to the Platinum Truck Series playoffs. How you feeling about your current points position? Do you think you have a shot at making a run for the Cup?
Absolutely, yeah. I think honestly, since the start of the season, I felt like we were a Championship 4 contender. So I'm hoping that's where we'll end up. I feel like we're in a really good points position. We're only about 10 points back from Hayden. So goal is to kind of take back that points lead and make up for those couple of bad stretch of races there. So yeah, I think if we make it to Phoenix, we'll be a dangerous weapon there.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been fast all season across a wide variety of tracks. That's something that you've kind of done well that the other drivers haven't, especially here on the road courses. Had a very strong showing just a few weeks ago at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Hopefully you can kind of replicate that again. Do you think you'll be able to outpace Pacey Winter in the end, or are you going to be banking on him making some sort of mistake or pitch strategy?
I mean, it's possible, but it's definitely a tall order. Pacey is really good. He's really fast, hits his marks, barely makes mistakes. So, I don't really know, but I'm hoping that's the plan, dude. Try to see if we can outpace Pacey, but might take a little bit of luck.
All right, well, good luck and Godspeed. Hopefully that SDP 4F150 has something under the hood.
Oh, I hope so. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, of course. That was the 43 of Mike Howitzer starting in second. Someone making their Inspired Truck Series debut is the 44 Matt Sedars. Let's bring him in. Hey, Matt, it's Robert McKay in the JFRN broadcast booth. You got a copy? Matt, it's Robert in the booth. You got a copy?
Sorry about that, Robert. I was muted there. I do have a copy.
All right, perfect. I figured I looked over and saw you were muted. You're fine, though. Starting here 8th on your truck debut, how do you feel?
I feel okay. I'm just going to try to keep the fenders on it and have a good run here. Looking to finish up here in the top 10 somewhere.
Yeah, interesting track to choose your debut. Is this track have any sort of importance to you? Home track, something like that?
No, I actually did run the Talladega race in the trucks, and I ran a couple of the Cup races too.
Yeah, I didn't really notice you there in Talladega. Didn't realize it. Well, I apologize, but this is your second race here in the series. I love your paint scheme. It's a great cause. And good luck tonight.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, see you later. That was the 44 Autism Speaks Toyota, driver of the 44 Autism Speaks Toyota of Matt Sedars, making his second truck start. Looking back here through the back, someone I noticed there is the 27 of Aaron Stanton, who didn't set a qualifying lap. Something kind of odd to see out of the 27. Usually used to seeing him close to the front. Let's bring him in. Hey Aaron, it's Robert in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, bud?
Starting there in 13th. Didn't set a qualifying lap. Is that by design, or are we just not able to keep it in between the lines?
It's by design. I'm just gonna try to stay out of the mess. I ain't winning this race with Ben and Pacey in here. All my hope is just to try to drive up and put together like a top 5 or something.
Yeah, exactly. And you had a strong showing at the Red Bull Ring, so kind of interesting strategy seeing you starting here from the back. Obviously, Pacey and Mike are on a field of their own, so good luck tonight, and hopefully you can kind of shuffle your way up through the field.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. 16 drivers tonight, starting here at Watkins Glen in upstate New York. See that pace stroke right there about to pull off. The 00 of Pacey Widgeon and the 43 of Mike Howitzer leading the field to green here. 55 laps of green flag action about to come your way here. Pace truck pulls off. Field heads to the restart zone. And we're green here in the great state of New York at the great track of Watkins Glen. The 00, fantastic start, getting the edge over the 43. And it looks like everybody's going to make it single file cleanly through turn 1. Bunch of drivers there using that apron to their advantage. Pacey Widgeon gets the early bump from the 43. 43 getting loose, though, no, off the 46 of Ben Knert. You see the 27 of Aaron Stanton already up 2 spots since the start of the race. Already up to 11th. Jeffrey Pepper's getting the move done on Matt Sidars. As Matt Sidars loose coming out of the bus stop. He keeps it straight and we stay green. Running wide there through turn 5. So you see the 70 running wide, which is normal for that corner. Seemed to be the only one, though, that kind of took advantage of that. Whoa, 6 around in the back. In the kitty litter he goes. The 6 of Joseph Maddox gets it rolling once more. Let's get a replay on that and see exactly. Let's break down what happened. Yeah, you see him just getting loose, losing the air, and setting it into the kitty litter. Goes the 6 Caterpillar Ford F-150 of Joseph Maddox. Getting back here live, the 46 gets the move done on the 43. All over the back bumper now, the 00 Toyota on Toyota. It's right on board here, the 00 of Pacey Widgeon. See, looking back here on the 46, the 46, deep send, not enough. Coming out of the final corner and down the back stretch, so let's hop on board with the 46. So he goes to the inside of the 00. Got a battle for the lead here, and the 46 gets the job done. Sends it deep into turn 1, gets the slingshot maneuver done. Pacey Widget goes from being hunted to being the hunter. See the 46 kind of squiggling a little bit there, coming out of turn 3. Here comes the 00 of Pacey Widget. Through the rumble strips. Do a comparison here between the 00 and the 46. So you see here, Ben Knert already getting about a second lead. Just run on board with Ben Knert as he sets another fast lap of a 113. Field already kind of separating out here a little bit. Closest battle we got here is between the 7 and the 24. 24 gets loose, heading over the bridge and down the backstretch. The 27 gets the job done on the 24. The 16 and the 43, the 16 and the 13 also side by side. See that 16 of Elijah Fisher and that Siege scheme. Very, very slick. I like that scheme from Elijah Fisher. As he dives down to the inside of Mike Howitzer heading through into turn 12. As you see, as you look at the track map, there's a very big gap between Justin Greenlee and the 96 of Evan Logue. See, these drivers kind of struggling back here. Some drivers we sometimes see up front on the ovals just kind of struggling to find their pace here on the road course. Ben Kennard out to a 3.5 second lead already over the 00 of Pacey Widgeon. So we're going to switch from gap to interval here, something kind of new for the road courses that we're going to do here on the Green Flag Racing Network. See the 13 diving down to the bottom of the 43, getting the job done. 43, Mike Howitzer struggling to find pace in that loose truck, just like he said during qualifying. So 27 gets the job done up to 5th. Here comes the 3 of Hayden Williams. Mike Howitzer dropping like a rock, struggling to find grip in that machine. Ben Kennard already out to almost a 5-second lead. About 4 laps after gaining almost a second a lap. Here comes the 16 of Elijah Fisher in that Siege X Ford F-150, hunting down the 00 Pacey Widgeon. As you see here, that gap closing in between these drivers. Aaron Stanton looking to get the move done here on Travis Farmer. And Jeffrey Peppers hunting down the 43 now. Again, that 43 SDP Ford F-150 is just struggling to find any sort of pace tonight. As the 24 dives down to the inside, heading through the final corner. Not enough, but gonna try to slingshot it coming down the front stretch here. He has the draft, which should help him as you see kind of closing that gap coming down here, diving down to the inside and getting the move done heading into turn 1. Aaron Stanton all over the back bumper of Travis Farmer. Right on board. As you see here, gap opens up a little bit, up to about 3/10 now. You see Aaron Stanton dive deep into turn 12. As the 9 is on pit road, just noticed that. The 27 getting the draft here off the 13, gonna try to make something work heading into turn 1. Dives deep. Almost contact. Aaron Stanton lets off. Got a hard battle here between the 13 and the 27. This is the battle for 4th. Bit of rough shifts there from the 27. Yeah, you see Aaron Stanton gaining a lot of time heading into the corners, sending it deep, and then Travis Farmer just gets a better exit than the 27, and that's where he's losing time. Trying to push it too hard into the corner and giving up time on exit. Now again, deep sending. You see that little bit of time gained, and then the gap just opens up there coming out of the corner. This time, not so much, as you see the draft working to the favor of Aaron Stanton, as Pacey Widget sets another fast lap, kind of slowly but surely creaking down the time that Ben Kennard had, but Ben Kennard is holding that lead strong. You see Aaron Stanton getting a really good exit coming out of the corner, has the draft. Gonna get real close to the back bumper of Travis Farmer here. Trying to board the back of Travis Farmer. Trying to find, there it is. You see Aaron Stanton gets close in the corners, but then loses it on corner exit. 9 laps complete here at the Watkins Glen International. We're going to cut away, but don't worry, you won't miss a thing. We're going Green Flag Racing Network side by side. This broadcast production is brought to you by our great friends over at Dubby Energy. Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other energy drinks. They don't use artificial dyes and contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Next time you go to buy W's great products, be sure to use our code GFRN for 10% at checkout. That is GFRN for 10% at checkout.
Hey you, yeah you. Are you tired of endlessly scrolling on trading paints trying to find that perfect paint scheme but it never seems to be there? Well, I got the solution for you. Griffin Race Paints. Griffin Race Paints just did a massive price cut. And also, for the rest of the year, you'll also be getting a 45% off discount. GRP 45. Always remember, Griffin Race Paints adds an extra 200 horsepower to your hot rod. Griffin Race Paint, where design meets performance.
The Inspired Racing League Cup Series.
Last gas down to the bottom. Hauser down to Blind Mike. Hauser takes Chicagoland and his first win in Inspired.
Where the best of the best duke it out every week for that sweet taste of victory.
Another caution right now would change everything. Oh, speaking of cautions, there they go. God's a mighty damn. Ty Wilson.
Where legends rise and underdogs thrive.
And Harper, he got permission to burn it down for the 7th time this season.
But even the best of the best have to start somewhere.
Brother Garrett Jenkins, Josh Henderson up here in the booth. Buddy, you finally got it.
This is the Platinum
Welcome back to Watkins Glen. 13 laps done out of 55 while we were under commercial break. The 27 finally gets it done as he goes through the grass and gets the move done on the 13. Let's get that replay up. See him for a couple laps just chasing him down. I'm trying to find exactly. See here, this is the replay coming down the backstretch. Just gets the move done very well, dives down into turn 1 and gets it done on the 13. The 13's been kind of struggling since then. So here the 27 gets the move done on the 16. But look at that gap between the 27 and the 00. You see that, right? That is a 9-second gap, now 10, almost 10-second gap between the 27 and the 00. Very interesting there. As you see, you got this big clump, about 12 second, 13 second, 15 second. Then you got Jeffrey Peppers kind of out in a little bit of no man's land. And then you got the guys going a lap down. You got the 17 and the 70 and the 43. Mike Alts are really struggling. So it's a little bit of an interesting map here if you look there. All the drivers kind of really within this just 30-second window, lap down or not. As you see here, I haven't looked at him in a while. Let's cut back over to the 46 of Ben Kennert. Seeing they're coming out of turn 5. You see Pacey Widgeon right there behind the 69 of Chris Liotta. See Chris going to be moving out of the way probably here, coming down the front stretch at 69, also struggling to find a little bit of speed. Got about 40 laps to go here. Ben Kennert and Pacey Widgeon, obviously the early favorites, but don't count anything out here at Watkins Glen. I mean, anything can happen. I've seen drivers wreck themselves out on the final lap or second to last lap or whatever. Excuse me. After leading for 20, 30, 40 laps. So don't exactly count this race over yet. See the 00 finally get past the 69. Already gaining a little bit of time here. 00 has some room to breathe before he reaches the 44 Matt Sedars, who's currently running 14th, 2 laps down. See that 44 moving out of the way for the 00. Allows the 00 not to have to worry about trying to get around him and focus on chasing down Pacey Widgeon, which is down to about 2 seconds. See here, Travis Farmer all the way back in 5th. Trying to make work here of the 16, Elijah Fisher. See coming here through turns, I believe that's 12 and 13. Or turn 10, my mistake. Getting a little bit squiggly there coming out of turn 1, heading into turn 2. 3 and 4, still chasing down the 16. We'll check in back on him later. The 46 struggling. You can see him clipping the grass a little bit, losing about 2/10. Starting to lose his rhythm, and here comes Pacey Widgeon. Could be either losing his rhythm or just those tires are starting to give out. See him diving down into turn 10 with about a 1.5 second gap. Pacey Widgeon still trying to close that. Justin Greenlee gets the move done on Mike Howitzer. He moves up to 8th. Travis Farmer is still trying to get the move done there on the 16 of Elijah Fisher. As you see, the gap is now opened up to about 5/10. Josh Henderson back in 10th, trying to get the move done on Mike Howitzer. Dives deep into turn 1. That 43 just kind of letting him by. He's really struggling there on those tires. A pit stop maybe soon in his future. So you can hear him kind of shut the power off to the engine. Right on board here. The reason I'm being quiet here is I'm just trying to listen to his RPM so you can... It's interesting what he's doing. If you listen closely, he's really letting off. Kind of flipping through some drivers here. Something could be wrong with that 43 machine. You know what? Let's radio him in. Let's try to dial him up here. Hey, Mike Howitzer, it's Robert in the booth. Interesting strategy you're doing there with the RPMs. Is everything good with the car, or are you kind of struggling?
Oh, yeah. Car might be down a couple cylinders here. Just trying to nurse it here, you know?
Yeah, it's just odd. You're kind of putting it in neutral. Is that...
Yeah, sometimes, you know, darn synchros in it are bad or something like that. It wants to just bounce out of gear every lap. So I've just been trying to nurse it so far, and, you know, hopefully it, you know, it can make this thing to the end.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Interesting issue there for the 43 of Mike Howitzer struggling with some either technical or mechanical issues. Not exactly too sure yet. You see smoke there in the tri-oval. That's Evan Logue. There in the 96, stranded at the bottom. Let's get that replay. See, coming through the bus stop, sends it too wide, and then just overcooks it. Okay. Evan Logue really kind of struggling. This was a pass just recently. Hayden Williams gets it done on Aaron Stanton. Moves up to 4th as Aaron Stanton comes in for his pit stop. See him in the 24 of Jeffrey Peppers coming down pit road for 4 fresh tires and some fuel. Maybe trying to undercut the leaders here. See here, coming off pit road, beating the 24, gonna file in right behind. I believe that's Elijah Fisher. Do you hear that 16 really taking those bumps aggressively? Ben Kennard still out to the lead. Pacey Widgeon rapidly closing though, down to about 6/10. Right on board. That's the sky. Diving down there to the bottom of the 46. And Pacey Widgeon once again finds the lead. The 00 back out to the lead. You see that 00 out to the lead already by about 5/10. And what a race this has been. 23 laps in the books. We'll be right back. This broadcast production is brought to you by our great friends over at Dubby Energy. Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other energy drinks. They don't use artificial dyes and contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Next time you go to buy W's great products, be sure to use our code GFRN for 10% at checkout. That is GFRN for 10% at checkout.
Hey you, yeah you. Are you tired of endlessly scrolling on trading paints trying to find that perfect paint scheme but it never seems to be there? Well, I got the solution for you. Griffin Race Paints. Griffin Race Paints just did a massive price cut. And also, for the rest of the year, you'll also be getting a 45% off discount. GRP 45. Always remember, Griffin Race Paints adds an extra 200 horsepower to your hot rod. Griffin Race Paint, where design meets performance.
go right back to commercial shortly, but wanted to bring you right back live to the action. Pacey Widget and Ben Kenner finally come down pit road at the same time. Bit of an interesting pit strategy here from Ben Kenner following Pacey Widget in. You see the 70 just kind of beating them off pit road. Saved for a later date, I guess you want to say. To the 00 and the 46 both taking fuel and tires. Interesting strategy though by the 46, not trying to under or overcut the 00. Personally, that's what I would have done. Just try to get some sort of advantage, because one lap of fuel and tires isn't that much of a difference. But you may be able to get a better pit road entry or exit alone. A little bit of interesting strategy here. So you see a second gap forms between the 00 and the 46. See here, the 00 about to lap that 88 machine. You see gaps still up to about 2 seconds now between the 00 and the 46. So you see here that 00 machine already out to a 1.8 second gap. Looking down the timing sheet, not a whole lot of action going on. You see Justin Greenlee about a second off Josh Henderson. Matt Sadars gets a move done. You're on the 6 who comes down pit road. Justin Greenlee now chasing down the 17 of Josh Henderson. Oh, you see the 44 get real loose coming out of turn 1. Keeps it straight as Pacey Widget sets a fast lap. Justin Greenlee on the back bumper of the 17. This gap between the 00 and the 46 now out to about 2 seconds. here, Justin Greenlee, currently the closest driver on track. Got about a 4/10 gap between the 17 and the 70. The 6 still on pit road. Gonna assume that he's calling it quits. He's got the meatball flag. So the 6, the 96, and the 9 are all out as the 70 gets the move done on the 17. But here comes the 00 of Pacey Widgeon, threatening to put them a lap down. You see him coming to put Matt Sidars in the 44 2 laps down. You see him rapidly approaching that 44. The 44 going to be moving off to the side here shortly, just to kind of get out of the way a little bit. Yeah, I see the 44 move down to the bottom. Getting out of the way of the 00. And now he's on to Hunt. The 6, the 17 of Krislov, Josh Henderson, put him another lap down. Yeah, 25 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. I think it's time to crank it up. do apologize. After, what has it been, 15, 20 minutes, I have finally figured out the issue with my mic. We are still green with 4 laps to go. Pacey Widgeon is out to the lead. Ben Kennard out of the race. Don't exactly know why, because I've been under my desk trying to fix my mic. So let's see exactly what happened here. Alright, so this is about on lap 45, so about 10 laps ago. Rewinding here. Coming through and overcooks it and slams into the inside wall. Oh my god. It's right here on top, right here inside. And into the wall he goes. An unfortunate end to Ben Kennard's day, but a great one for the 00 of Pacey Widget. 37 seconds. Has pretty much almost lapped the entire field. You see him in the 00 approaching the 24 and the 3. So coming to 2 to go, 37-second gap. Pacey Widgeon is in a very comfortable position right now, about to go 3 in a row. 1 on a mile, 1 on a super speedway, and 1 on a road course. 2 to go. See him coming through turn 1 and 2. The 00 camp will be extremely happy tonight. The loners, Aaron Stanton starting at 13th, moving up over 10 positions. He's the best mover of the night. And the 00 took pole position and has a 38-second gap. All you gotta do from here is butter it to the finish. Don't push it too hard. Literally just ease it to the line. Coming out of the final corner, 1 lap to go, presented by Hudson Auto Works. Primary sponsor of the Hudson Auto Works Late Model Stock Tour, broadcasted on Mondays. Coming through turn 1, the 00 Pacey Widgeon. What a barn burner it has been. 40 seconds separates him and the 13. And what a race it has been. Coming through turn 6. That's 8, my mistake. Pacey Widgeon, what a race it has been, and one of the last 3 races has been winning on his debut at the Milwaukee Mile, winning in a photo finish at Talladega, and then setting it on fire here in New York. Pacey Widgeon coming out of turn 10, wins at Watkins Glen. 135 laps of domination led to this. Pacey Widgeon wins it all here at Watkins Glen and is the first driver in truck history to take it 3 wins back to back to back. What a race it's been for the 00. Now let's run through your running grid here, presented by Downtown Auto Sales. After 55 laps, Pacey Widgeon gets the win. Travis Farmer, second, 42 seconds behind. Aaron Stanton, Elijah Fichter, Hayden Williams, Jeffrey Peppers, Mike Howitzer, Justin Greenlee, Matt Sidarza, and Josh Henderson round out your top 10. Then we got Bobby Hadaway, Ben Kinner, Chris Lyota, Joseph Maddox, Evan Logan, Cade Cannon round out your field. You see the 00 drifting and around the track. Clean drift, I may add. Coming there out of the final corner to celebrate. And while he does, let's bring in our top 3. First up is the 3 of Aaron Stanton. Aaron Stanton, it's Robert McKay in the booth. You got a copy. What happened to kind of sticking it around the back, not really trying to, you know, just good points day. You managed 3rd. Yeah, good race indeed, coming through the field, gaining the most positions, getting 10 spots there from 13th to 3rd. How did that truck feel towards the end of the race? As Pacey goes airborne. Anyway, yeah, we stayed green throughout the entire race, finishing in about an hour and a half. But again, no one was really able to compete with Pacey. 43 seconds is the official gap, the margin of victory. Yeah, he was gone. Yeah, that truck was fast tonight. Well, congratulations on the 3rd. You got it done. 10 spots gained. Before we let you go, any drivers you want to thank, sponsors, family members, etc.? All right, well, we'll see you next week. And again, go celebrate that 3rd. You earned it. All right, now second, Travis Farmer there in the 13. Travis, it's Robert in the booth. You got a copy. Finishing second. Nowhere near Pacey Widgeon, but finished second. How's it feel? Yep. Yeah, 43 seconds, the largest margin of victory so far in the trucks, but kind of fell back at the start of the race and slowly climbed your way up. Excellent, excellent job. How'd the truck feel tonight? Yeah, good indeed. Before we let you go, any drivers you want to thank, sponsors, family members, etc.? All right, well, we'll see you next week. Go celebrate that 2nd place finish. You too. And last but certainly not least, the 00 Pacey Widgeon going back to back to back on 3 very different tracks. Pacey, you got a copy. Well, you got it done. Pole to the win. Obviously, Ben Kennert made a mistake there towards the end of the race, but 43 seconds. That's the largest margin of victory so far in the trucks. How does it feel? It's got to be a new record for you, no? So it seems like you know your way around the track. Just leave it at that. Yeah. I mean, play tracks it's hard to be, good or bad at because most of it's luck. But regardless, you went 3 in a row. Before we let you go, any drivers you want to thank, sponsors, family members, etc.? All right, well, hopefully we'll see you next week. You think you could take it 4 in a row? It is, Iowa. That's a tough one. All right, well, exactly, and I'm excited to see you. Hopefully, you do another barn burner. Good luck. All right, well, that'll do it here for us at the Green Flag Racing Network. I'm Robert McKay, and it's been what a race it's been here at Watkins Glen. We'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.